Welcome everyone back to the Junk Man's Adventures, and today we're going to be doing a little diorama build, something I've been wanting to do. I got a two-camera setup going on here, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'm almost also monitoring the chat, so if you'd like to join in there, ask some questions, make some comments and such. We'll get a dialogue going here, and as we build this thing, and we're not going to build it all in one shot here, obviously, because we're going to let things dry. But I'll tell you what I'm doing along the way, and I hope you enjoy it. If you've watched my other live streams, they're very impromptu, and I try to do them as well as I can. But I like to show you what I'm doing, and a lot of you guys like to watch me work on things live, and we can get a little dialogue going in the chat. I see we got some people hopping in here. Hey, Jason, and don't know who the other user is, but thank you for joining in. I don't recognize your name, so you guys must be new. Hopefully you're subscribers. If not, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you get notifications. I got other videos coming. And I want to try to live stream a lot more. And this project, I'm going to live stream it all the way through. And we'll change some camera angles here a little bit. We got the tight in shot so you can see what I'm doing with also the picture-in-picture. And then we have my wide shot here for when you need to see the whole thing, and I can hold it up to this camera tier 2. Just trying this out. I'm not a professional at this, so bear with me, you know. So hopefully you are getting some decent audio here. I'm just using the audio off my webcam, so I don't have my specific microphone set up just for here. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for being a subscriber. I do it for you guys, the viewers here. Don't forget to support via Super Chat. It's that little dollar sign down there. You can donate as little as $1. Like I said, it helps me keep this setup I got going here, and it just shows me that you appreciate it. But you never have to do that. Just watching, participating, chatting, liking, sharing, all helps me out too. And I wouldn't be anything without the viewers. So that's where we're at there. So, all right, let's get started with the scope of what I'm working on here. And as you can see, we got what looks like kind of a piece of trash, and then we got a little broken die-cast car here. Actually, this one's made by Ertl Company, and it's beat up, and you'll see in my wide shot here. We'll just change the shot here. I got some. You can't see this. We got some of this material. We got what looks like some sticks and some weeds and things here. That's all going to be part of this little build here. We're going to try to do. What we're doing is making a kind of diorama river scene. And let me bring up a picture here real quick of kind of the inspiration for this. And let me click over here, and you're going to lose some audio here, but just take a look at this picture. This is what we're kind of replicating here. Okay, and all right, it's a car in the bank of a river. And why is it there? Well, where I'm originally from, and actually this happened across the country in rivers, cars were put along the banks to prevent erosion. I mean, they were just car bodies, no engines and stuff like that. And also, it's very good fishing. But near where I live, there's a bunch of these cars, or where I'm originally from, I should say, lined up along the banks in places. And I thought, I wanted to make a little desk sitter type of diorama, something that I can sit on my desk at work and look at, and it's kind of small. If you've seen some of my other videos, I've done some kind of larger projects, things that are a little bit too large to display and such. So I wanted something a little smaller. I mean, granted, this is still kind of a little large here, size of my hand, but still small enough. You can set on a shelf real easy and I hope to have a lot of interest in it. But all right, the car we're gonna take away for a minute, and let's discuss what I got going on here. This piece here that I have is actually part I cut off of a larger diorama that I built, that I actually built live. That's on my channel. I made a little train layout using a little $6 train in a tin. Uh, you know, detailed it, but again, just using scrap materials. This is some insulating foam. I just threw some spray paint on it. Just I don't know why. I just wanted to cover up the blue, and I mean it's going to get covered with plaster. We're going to work on this, but anyway, I just cut off a section, and it had this that I glued together, and to me that looked kind of like a riverbank. Um, and we're going to pour resin to make it look like water here. I mean, I'll have to dam it up on the sides, and then we'll add more land over here. And I've already done a little bit of testing and such, and that's what you got to do, kind of the layout for things like this. And this has opening doors. That's another thing. And actually, this little car I got in a box, like at a garage sale, when I was young, and it was broken like this when I was young. And I can remember playing with it as if it was a junk car that was left in a tree line, and I would, pretend and put little sticks around it. It's like, oh, okay, you know, it's a junk car in a tree line. Where I come from, that's pretty common sight. Anyways, I decided we're gonna probably have it sitting something like this, and it's gonna kind of sit in the into the bank somewhat, something like this. And then we'll put some logs and sticks around it that I've brushed up against it because the water's running this way across it. We're going to simulate. And, the water will be kind of a muddy water, but I don't want to totally lose the depth and stuff. We're going to try to, because it's not a real deep part of the river, and this will be where there's some land. So as you can see, this is kind of what we're looking, and we're going to have some trees and grass and things here. It'll be kind of interesting. I've never done anything like this, so the techniques I'm doing, I actually, from watching other YouTubers that do this all the time, one of them I'd like to give a shout out, Luke Toen of Boulder Creek Railroad, does some amazing videos here of this stuff. And I'm going to take some of the stuff I've seen in his videos and we're going to try to make something here. We're going to try to make something that looks halfway decent. And if you saw my train layout deal, I did pretty good on that one. I was pretty happy with that. So anyway, let's we got the foam. It's glued to a board, so it's a nice good base here. You can even see the price tag on it there. Just some MDF. And I guess I kind of painted it because I thought, well, maybe the plaster would stick to it, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to set that aside, just off to the side here, because I already kind of pre-measured some stuff out here. And let's change to the wide shot because, that's not gonna... I just have a bowl. I have, this is kind of some plaster or whatever, light white hydrocal. This stuff sets pretty quickly, but I like using it. It sets up pretty fast. Got a little bit of buffering in. People are saying, Stream Analytics says it's good. Might be just your internet connection. I am using low latency to try to get a more real time, so that could be affecting your end a little bit. I'm putting out about a little over 3,000 kilobytes per second to get an HD stream here. So I apologize. I can't really do much about internet connections on the other end, or if YouTube's having troubles. So hopefully, maybe just try restarting your browser or something. So anyway, I'm gonna mix this up, and then we got to work fast because I got to get it on here. And yeah, let's see. So it said, got it kind of mixed up, and then I have some extra. So, whoop, shoot. I knew I was going to do that. Oh, well. Anybody else out there watching, if you're seeing some buffering, it's probably just, and I guess it could be my internet connection, but again, can't really do much about that. I can't change my bit. I can't change my bit rate on the fly here without stopping and starting. So again, I'm making kind of a mess. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm trying to watch the chat and stir, and I really shouldn't do that here. But yeah, thank you for telling me that, because, you know, I got to assume that everybody's getting a pretty similar, you know, experience here. It's kind of like cake batter here. And this is probably way more than I need. I should have poured the water in a little bit slower, because this is a little more soupier than I thought. Because this is actually more of a casting resin and resin plaster. Okay, we're good and mixed up. Says let it nuts. Dang it, splattered it on myself. That's why I wear old clothes doing this. Actually, I shouldn't have been sitting. That's part of it. Trying to get lazy here. All right. It says to let it sit. I am going to do something a little bit different here. I am going to that's going to sit. Should have probably done this ahead of time. I didn't think about this. I'm going to kind of make a dam all the way around with some masking tape. That'll help me get, because as this dries, then I can kind of work it with my fingers and stuff. So we'll just put some masking tape around there, and then I'll clean up the edges. I'll probably frame it with some sort of wood of some sort. But anyway, guys joining in the chat, I'm always curious of how you found me, what made you subscribe, what video did you watch first, and that made you subscribe. And I gotta let this set just a little, actually. So I'm always, like I said, that's something I'm always curious about. I'm gonna add a little. I got enough here. Let's add that in. Might have not mixed quite right, but it's always better to have more material than you really need, because hate to have to mix up more. But yeah, if you're in the chat, what okay, yeah, we're starting to. All right, and it's starting to set up or harden up here. What made you subscribe? What video? What kind of stuff are you in? Because I know I have a real diverse audience, because I do a lot of different things, and I know people find one video, they subscribe, and then find out I do other things, and you know, I mean, that may not be all what you're into: motorcycles, model building, all this stuff. You watch Dive Trick. Oh, and like tacos. Okay. Reddit, the diesel truck. Oh, so you're from like probably the model making subreddit that I posted in. Oh, great. You know, there's some amazing builders in there. And again, this is, like I said, something I've not experimented with what I'm doing here. So, oh, I should have. Yeah, that's all right. Should have wet down the. You know what? I can do that. Do that again. I forgot. Well, I have quite a bit of quite a few videos, motorcycle restorations, all motorcycle riding stuff. I don't make a lot of riding videos. There's that market seems pretty saturated and whatnot, and there's other people that do those kind of videos better than me. I mean, yeah, I used to like to share my rides, but okay. You know what? I thought maybe I mixed up too much, and I might be. Let's get a little closer here. There you go. Yeah. Oh, Reddit. Oh, not on Reddit. Oh, I don't know. Reddit's actually a pretty neat place. It's to me, I kind of like it because it's kind of a basic, like almost more of like an old school forum. Oops. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. Let's overflow. That's why I have this gray protection stuff. Then this doesn't get all over my my bench. Um, let's see. I don't really mind if it's not too perfect because we're going to paint and use some other textured things. But yeah, there's actually some pretty neat stuff over there. It's I mean, yeah, some of the subreddits are kind of wonky, but yeah, I get it. But so you just found me through YouTube. Well, good. I guess the YouTube algorithm does get it right sometimes. It's, because apparently it recommended. But yeah, the diecast restoration, again, I got inspired by kind of a lot of those other guys that do that, Bare Metal and Hot Wheels and a few other ones of them. I can't think of all of them, Wheels and things. But yeah, I got to wanted to try that out, and you know, that, like I said, those are fun. They were kind of inspiring because that wasn't something I kind of thought a medium to work in. I've always kind of done, you know, if I've done things like that, plastic models and things. So I assume you've watched my my latest Nissan truck or Nissan pickup video. All right, let's put that over there, away from that. Let that dry a little. Actually, let's see. There's probably a better way to do what I'm doing here. Um, yeah, and I made a recent video, which hopefully you've seen. That's kind of the final and finishing video because I made a little diorama base kind of thing. Let's use some 3-inch masking tape. Let's see if we can form this up a little. Maybe not. Yeah. Nope. I'll just have to wait for that to dry. Because as it dries, I can kind of work it up a little here. Should have, I think about it, I should have put a little bit of foam over here. Yeah, I like the realistic stuff too. And when I build models, although I have great respect for those that can make them look, like those that can make them like showroom. Um, showroom nice. Because that, to me, that's the real trick. It's um, that's to me real hard to do. I can't do that because I like doing weathered models oh, uh, because you can kind of what some people call like hide. You can say hide the crimes uh, when you mess something up. It's easy to um, hide them, hide your screw ups because oh well, just put a little bit of dirt or simulated rust over that, and you'll be fine, kind of thing. Yeah, that's gonna take a while to dry, but um, I don't, I haven't used this stuff in a long time. I thought I remembered it kind of dried a little quicker, but yeah. Anyway, sitting there watching stuff dry. Let's move that over the way. Um, yeah, let's see. I'll show you get you some close-ups of the car here a little bit. Yeah, that you can see. See, a door's missing. I mean, yeah, somebody could, and the axle's bent. It's missing a wheel. Um, I'm going to really age and weather this, which I can't show that here. And what I should have done is I forgot to get some ferric acid because as you can see, some of the paint's on and some of it's off. And I might do some more. See if we can hold it there a little bit. Do some more dents and put some more details into the car just to get a more rusty, a little bit rusty. The one part of the windshield's busted out. This part I'll just leave as is. I don't think I'll crack it. I was gonna. Maybe the rear I will crack, or I could cut it out of there, but I think I'll leave it. I'll just crack it. The door, and it's got a reasonably enough detail in the interior. I mean, most of it's going to be logs stuck in there. Uh, but if I use some ferric chloride, I can age this to look like a lot like real rusty, which is kind of what I'm going for because this has been in the river since they started putting these kind of cars in the river. So I hear uh, like in the 60s. Oh, there we go. We're starting to set up a little bit. Um, and for erosion control. And that was so a lot of them, where the water line is normally as kind of stuck and rusted off, and then occasionally they break loose and they end up a little farther downstream too. But let's see, okay, yeah, it's starting to build up now. Or get hard. It's got to take 24 hours for this to, fully set to do anything. We got to put some. I got to put some paints on it and things like paint on it and stuff like that. So um, and then we'll kind of work it and um, I wonder. You know what? Just to speed things up, I wonder if I put my heat gun on it. It's kind of a probably shouldn't do it, but I'm impatient. Let's see here. Hopefully this isn't too loud for you. I'm cheating and trying to speed dry this a little bit. At least enough so I could start working it a little bit so you can see me doing some. That's one thing about until we get into the real meat of this project. I can't, there's not a lot to watch. You know, uh, yeah, there we go. Kind of make a bit of a mound here. I don't want to. Still need a little bit for the plaster to, or the when I pour the resin, needs to be a but little bit of a barrier. Otherwise, the heat from the um, resin curing can do a little number on the. But can do a number on the foam that's underneath here. So build that bank up a little bit. Again, this is just getting the basic shape because we'll be adding some more texture and other stuff here. Yeah, the realistic models versus like kind of showroom style. Exactly. I have a lot of respect for the guys that can do that because I sure don't. I don't feel I have the skill set to do it quite that good. Um, okay, it's I'm gonna. Okay, I actually need to dig that out back here. Again, most of this base is going to get painted in, kind of a brown or a brown and a black to really accentuate give some depth to the water. I don't know, it's just a little bit of kind of artistry to it. Kind of what looks like a mud kind of there. Guess I'll set it in there and just wipe it off. But and I'm going to spread some more dirt around it anyway. But that's what old shirts are good for. Okay, there. mound of dirt there. Let's just so that we don't have to have so much resin over there. Let's build that up. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll square off these ends of the diorama here and build it up. And of course, I can always, when this is hard, I can sand it and make it really, really nice. Okay, there we go. We can build up the land here like I wanted to and originally. A little bit like frosting a cake, which I'm not very good at, I must say. My wife can attest to that. Yeah, I know this is, again, when I get started with these projects, there's not a lot to watch because it's kind of, you know, kind of boring because it's a lot of, especially something like this, there's a lot of, forming and whatnot. But up here, and that's why I showed you at the beginning here, I got kind of those grass mats because I don't really need much. I'm going to try to use those, and it's got to be a little bit of an experiment, actually. Stiffer it gets, yeah, it's the process. I mean, that's the thing. It's funny because people they seem to like watching, or some people seem to like watching my live streams of this stuff, which I find odd because I don't know, this seems like this would probably be boring. I mean, it's fun for me, but watching, but I guess it's kind of like the gamer community, a lot of people. Now, see, I get it because I do actually kind of watch a little bit of that, like Let's Plays, like people playing video games, for example. I like retro games for myself, but what I mean is that most people find it's a little weird, well, when you want to play the game rather than watch it. Well, it's kind of same thing when you want to build this yourself rather than watch somebody do it. But I don't know. Some people think, oh, it's relaxing and stuff, and like again, I mentioned Luke Tolan's videos. That's kind of that's that's exactly, I would say, because his videos are very relaxing to watch. Okay, yeah, I don't want this too rough, but I mean, I got it built up more or less how I sort of envisioned it. What I think I'll do here is, because we're fairly set, I can undo, yeah, there we go. And I'll, like, oh, that's pretty good, actually. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That'll square up the corners and, okay. Get a cup of water so I can kind of smooth some of it out here. Especially up here. I mean, I'm going to make it sort of a dirt texture up here, so. Some here. Because I'm going to do my sifted dirt, which you've seen me do on other things here. All right, let's smooth a little bit of this out a little bit. Just because this is where the water runs, so it's going to be, of course, I'm going to use like kind of a murky water. Yeah, how about that? Let's get that scraped up. We'll put that in there because it's gonna be almost a half inch pour for the resin, it appears. Okay, let's put that up there. Yeah, let's see. I'm kind of liking that. Let's see. Well, that's almost harden, kind of is. I think I'll make, you know, the edges, I think I'll make them dirt, so it's like you're seeing a little bit of the underground a little bit on this back side. I won't just make it as and don't forget, if you're watching out there, you can support via Super Chat. Like I said, you can, like I said earlier, you can donate as little as $1, and it helps me make more videos, get equipment to make these videos even better. And now that that's set in there, I'm going to press the car in, make some indentations. Then I'll know exactly where it's going to sit. And I'm really kind of liking that because we're going to do a pour, so the water is basically almost, well, it is, so it will be going through the car is the idea. And then that's just run right into the bank there. So let's see how that looks. Well, I still got time to work it. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, plaster's getting kind of. Smooth this out because the water running under the car. Kind of smooth it out over here. All right. All right, that looking pretty good. We'll tidy the edges up with some sandpaper once it's dry. Actually, let's paint this brown anyway. Maybe I'll put some roots sticking out on the backside too, just to add some realism. What? Shoot. I may need to mix up just a little bit more. Because I kind of need to. Oops. Dang it. That was not what I wanted to do. That's alright. That's okay. Actually, yeah, that was a little better. And when I'll probably have to make a little bit of a form around this before I do much more. That'll be alright. Well, I can't rehydrate it now. Alright. You know what I should do is it's going to take a bit to dry. That's pretty good right there. I kind of like that. Alright. I know, I guess you can't quite see what I got going on there, but see, we got some undercutting there, so that'll stand out once we paint it in a little bit, because I'll get some dark up in there, and that'll hold everything and kind of tie it all together, make a shadow. I need to get a towel. Thanks for watching. I know I'm not talking too much because it's kind of one of those deals I gotta really pay attention. But appreciate who's ever in the chat. You know, if there's anybody else watching, you know, that'd be great. Let's see how many. Well, we got quite a few people in here actually. Just not a lot of chatters. That's all right. I am going to. We're just gonna do a little of this kind of help speed the setting of it. Again, it's going to take 24 hours to fully set up before we can you know, put some paint on it and all that stuff. And that's And that's going to be the fun part. Might be tomorrow night. I don't know. So, hopefully, if you're not already subscribed, hit the notification bell so you make sure you get in here. But I'm going to definitely want to do that. That's, I'm not going to get it completely dry, but I just want to get it a little more set. So I'm using my heat gun here to kind of accelerate it a little bit. I got it pretty thick, so it's going to take a little bit for this to fully cure in some places, but okay, that's enough of that for now. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up pretty quick here, but before I do, I'm gonna give you guys who are watching, even though if you're not in the chat, I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek of kind of, well, at least the idea I got going on for what I want to do here. So obviously, you basically I got an indentation where the car will sit. So something like that. All right, just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to do here. And I went ahead of time and I got some little twigs and things, and I actually kind of used some wood glue and glued a few extra branches. I don't know where I'm going to put this guy, but maybe something like, I'm just lightly tapping him in there, but something like that. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard for you to see in this camera here, but then, and I'm thinking something, big old log came along, went and just kind of flowed down the river in there. The same deal. Tree fell down, got uprooted, got shoved in there. I got some little other weed type twig deals. Those got into the door. Something like that, maybe. Same with this. I mean, you got to kind of use your imagination at this point. But, something like this went and is, something in there. It's here. Something like that. I got a bunch of different little twigs here and stuff. Maybe something's laying up, gonna lay right up in there. I got some twigs and stuff. That'll look like, to scale, a little bit of logs and stuff that kind of, maybe this one, his little arms sticking out there. And I have kind of, I don't know, I'll have to cut them, but I'll have some roots, coming out of the bank that are into the water, roots for that tree. But anyway, I'll spin it around here, kind of give you an idea, give you a little sneak peek of sort of the idea I got going on here, and up there, I guess I can get you. Let's do the wide shot here. Something like this. I know it's hard to see with no shadowing or anything, no paint. But the water flow is this way, so everything just shoved into there, kind of idea. I don't know. Hopefully that kind of gives you the idea, the sort of the look I'm going for here. And then I got some of this grass material, and I mean it's not going to be perfect because I'm going to have some dirt and such, but this will kind of, there'll be dirt along the edge, but just to give some green foliage. I got some other little things I'm going to put up over here. Maybe an animal or two along here, but um, it's kind of hard to see, but something like that. See, if you're walking up to it, looks like it's buried in the bank. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of a work in progress, and I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. So take that out because I don't want that to fall. Kind of like that, but I got some ideas of things, get some dirt texture, and I think the water's really going to make it. And I also got I got a little surprise thing that you won't see till the very end that I'm going to put in it, but so I won't talk about that. But anyway, I guess that's about it. Uh, Thanks for watching, folks. I'm glad you tuned in. If you missed it, you're watching this live archived. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get all the notifications and everything. I have an Instagram. Check me out over there. I post pictures. I might post a little bit of some up-to-date stuff, or if I'm going to use some. It needs a fish. Yeah, scale fish are going to be pretty tiny, but you might have that in mind. I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. I don't know when I'll be streaming next of this project, but of course, if you're watching this archived, it'll be in a playlist, and you can just move on to the next video, and then I'll make a proper ending video. But I'm going to try to keep rolling on this, not take too many breaks. Maybe every night this week I'll stream this. Don't know. There's just some supplies I got to get, so that might take me a bit. I'm going to take this out to let this all dry. But appreciate y'all watching. I know I said this again. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And next time you can support during Super Chat if you really liked it. So, all right, I'm going to leave you with that. And I thank you for watching.